In the movie IOUSA, the former comptroller for the United States, Dave Walker, said something very profound. He said that he feels the biggest deficit this country has, it's not the $70 trillion of debt, it's a leadership deficit. And I want to talk about a leadership deficit for a second here. On the 6th, when I saw the ice storm, I knew all too well these guys didn't know what they were doing when it came to weather. And I said, well, that's okay. We can get this fixed. I'll fire off an email to the principal. I'll ask the principal to send it to whoever makes a decision. And I said, hey, I want this person to call me because I want to have a little come to Jesus talk with them. And, if they're not an administrator, then I want an administrator to call me as well. And I got an email back from the superintendent, said, call me and we'll talk about our procedures. And that wasn't good enough for me. I just wanted to hear, hey, we know we have a problem, we're fixing it. And I never got that. So the night of the 6th, I got an email, or the day of the 6th, I got an email from Dr. McQuain, the superintendent. He said, call me and we'll talk about it. And I said, I emailed him back and said, I don't want to talk about anything. I just want you to fix the problem. Well, this was covered to, blind carbon copied, or not blind carbon copy, but carbon copied to everybody and his brother, the whole school board. And 2 representatives called me. This is what I consider to be the stupidest response I got back. And there's no way to sugarcoat this. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat this. I'm truly upset, and I'm upset by the stupidity and the inability to say, hey, we got a problem. We need to improve it. Let's fix it. That's all it would take. Lee Iacocca said, when you screw up, just admit it. Say, hey, I screwed up. I made a mistake. I'm going to fix it. I won't do it again. And he says that politicians especially spend more time standing up for what they did wrong, or what they put in place, rather than fixing it. And it's a pet peeve of mine. And when it comes to our kids, it makes me absolutely irate. But this guy writes back and he says, hey, I got 3 kids in there. I share this concern. No, you don't share the concern. If there's an ice storm and your procedures and policies let it happen, then you need to say, hey, there's a problem with them. I share the concern. I'm fixing it. You don't sit here and say, let me just scroll down here. Here it is, yes. In light of that, the school board would be happy to review inclement weather procedures and determine if in fact revisions are warranted. Okay, pal. This was on the 6th, and you had an ice storm and you held school, so they're warranted. On the 7th, you didn't delay school. There was ice on the road. They're really warranted. I believe it was the 8th, yes. On the 8th, you sent the school buses out onto the highways, and you botched the cancellation. Kids, teachers, and staff members were out on the roads at the worst possible time. In fact, when they were closing the highways. And there were 40 or 50 accidents in Augusta County. So you're telling me if, in fact? No. It is, in fact. They are warranted. And you're telling me here you're welcome to attend the school board meeting? When is that? Is that in the summer of 2009, in the spring of 2009? Is it in the fall or the winter of 2009? I mean, come on. This is winter time. It needed to be handled immediately. And when you get replies like this from board members, you have to look at this and say, these people are not fit to serve on the board. And if they don't know enough to resign, if they don't know enough that they should have nothing to do with the safety of our children, then we need to tell them, hey, get the hell out of office and let somebody in here who knows their head from a hole in the wall handle this. And this was just one email. I'll show you another one. Yeah, here's the other one. This guy said he was my representative. I don't even live in his district. I mean, these people can't even figure out who's my representative. And he says, I would suggest you call and talk about it. You are correct. There's nothing more important than the safety of our students. We have been using these procedures successfully for many years. Well, it's not a success when in 1 week you have 3 blunders, and then a couple of weeks later you step on it again. These are not successes. And he also says in here, and I want to point out, winter procedures we have in place for dealing with a limited number of students who live in the higher elevations of Augusta County. What are you trying to tell me here, pal? Are you trying to tell me that the teachers who live up on the mountain and the teachers that live over the mountain and the couple of the kids that go up here, if something happens to them and they don't get to school okay, it's no big deal? You know, my kids are important as any other kids, and their kids are no more important or less important than mine. Every kid, every teacher, every staff member, we need to treat them with an equal amount of respect. Numbers have nothing to do with this. The procedures need to be put in place that when the roads are bad, you don't put buses on them, or you don't put a bus on them, or you don't put one teacher's car on it, whatever it is. But the way we're doing things right now, I guarantee you, it's going to lead to a fatal accident. And there's no reason at all in this world that we can't apply some common sense and avoid it.